Hello and welcome back to Two and a Half Philosophers. I'm Arnav, again, joined by William and Fraser. Today's episode will be a bit different compared to the others. I'll hand it off to Fraser to explain.
Basically, we're doing a set of 3 debates. We'll each, unknowingly previously, announce the debate topic to the other 2 contestants, and we'll have 10 minutes to debate the given prompt, with the moderator, i.e. the person whose prompt it is, deciding who debates on which side of the argument. Basically, we spun the wheel to decide who would be going first in terms of their prompt, and we landed on Will. So Will's going to announce his prompt and who's deciding who's. So Will's going to announce his prompt and tell us who's debating on which side of the argument.
So my prompt is: can AI ever truly know anything? And I suppose you can choose who's for and who's against. Doesn't really matter.
Well, I'll argue against it if that's okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Sure, let's go. You start, Fraser.
Right.
Your time will start now.
Okay, I'm going to say that AI can't actually ever truly know anything. The reason being is, as part of knowledge, we need to be able to reason ourselves to determine if we think from our point of view there's knowledge about a certain issue. And I think that AI just simply isn't able to sort of occupy that point of view in which it can reason from. I think it's unfortunately or fortunately just different to humans in the fact that it can, reason logically from a given set of senses that it has. So there you go.
Okay. You ask an AI something. You ask ChatGPT something. It gives you an answer.
Right.
How is that not it knowing something? How's that not it just knowing the answer and telling you the answer?
Well, it's like if you told me if so you asked me what is the result of detailed calculation, and I plug into a calculator and give it to you. Did I know the answer to that, or did I just repeat what I was given by a series of algorithms? That's what the AI is doing ultimately. You ask it a question, it just checks against things that it's seen before and then regurgitates what it think might be the answer. It hasn't really gone through logically and determined that this will be the correct answer.
Yeah, okay, it's went through what it's seen before and it knows what it's seen before. So if it knows what it's seen before, it knows the answer.
Does it know what it's seen before though? It's all it has is it's basically just seen it before, but it hasn't really understood the precise details in each piece of text. It just understands like A plus B is equal to C.
Okay, understanding and knowing it is a bit different. It's probably similar to how you can just know that like 5 plus 5 is 10. You don't need to calculate anything. It'll know it, but it doesn't need to understand it. I think the part of knowing it is literally the question, so it knows it.
So you think it does know it?
Yeah, yeah.
Why is that?
Because, I mean, it knows how to get the answer to it. And knowing how to get the answer, even though it doesn't understand, like, it doesn't, like, humanly understand how to get the answer. It just knows how to get the answer. And by knowing how to get the answer, it just knows the answer at the same time.
I mean, I feel like it kind of depends on what it's knowing specifically. Like, maybe it can know mathematical truths, but maybe it can't know, like, can AI know what it's like to love somebody? Like, is that can an AI process feelings of love or desire, or is it simply just a machine? Like, I feel like we can't say that an AI would know a desire to be hungry.
So the question was, can it know anything? So if it knows mathematical truths, that counts as something, I would say. So then it knows something.
Okay, but I mean, when you talk about knowledge of mathematical truths, this depends what type of knowledge we're using. If we're doing propositional knowledge, sure, but there's experiential knowledge. But okay, I will give you that if it knows mathematical truths, but can it really know mathematical truths? Because it can't really test them out, right? All it's ultimately going to be doing is seeing writing. It can't like think, oh, let me test it out for myself and see if it follows. Because all it's built to do, assuming we're talking about like textual AIs, all they do is just sort of read a script and things that people have written before, and then sort of regurgitates that. So I don't think it actually has any system of knowing inside. It's sort of literally just like a calculator.
I think it's kind of like what you said actually, but it's that it knows what people have said before, so and it uses what it knows to just know something else, basically.
Right,
Is that
does a
not?
calculator, when you put in 10 times 10 is 100, does it know that it's 100, or is it merely just outputting something?
I think it know. Yeah, it does know what 100 is. Like when it gives you 100, it knows what 100 is.
When you say it, what do you mean by it?
The calculator. When the calculator gives you the number 100, it knows what the number 100 is.
Okay, because the issue is, when we say that I know something, right, I'm a human being with a brain and a complex, conscious system, whereas the calculator is literally just, I mean, it's a display. There's a CPU behind the display. Like, what are we calling it?
Okay, calculators and AI are quite different, I would say, because AIs are made with a lot more code than a calculator. So the process behind like knowing it is like so close to just being the same as a human's knowing even, is that you should just count it as knowing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, do we think it is so close though? Because the way, I think partly knowing is the way that we rationalize things. So, there's justified true belief as the initial starting of knowledge, but then there's theories like reliabilism, which require you to have like reliably formed your belief. I don't know if AIs would be really able to reliably form things because they're not really aware of the rules maybe necessarily that govern our thoughts. So
okay, I guess that in a sense is correct, but how I'm interpreting at least the question is as you ask the AI a question on something, if it's whatever, it can be math. It checks, like, it probably the same way we set stuff up, it checks it and finds out how to do it. Then when it gives you this answer, it knows. It knows the answer. It can probably, I don't know how AIs work to this level, but it might just immediately scrap that answer because it's so quick to just find out and know it. And if it's so quick to find out and know it, what's the difference between just like, it's the difference between us searching our memory for something that we know, since the AI can basically use the whole internet as its like own brain in a way.
I mean, part of the issue might be that the AI only really knows what it's been given, right? So if we give it false information, right, will it know that 5 plus 5 is 11? Let's say we fed an AI with just stuff saying that 5 plus 5 would be equal to 11, and it tells you that, doesn't know that 5 plus 5 is equal to 11.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, if I train an AI model off of data that only includes the fact that 5 plus 5 is equal to 11, and I ask it, what is 5 plus 5? It will ostensibly give me the answer is equal to 11. But can it know that if it's false?
I mean, it can, the same way we can think something that's wrong. So as long as it knows something, because the question was, can AI know anything? If it knows like 5 plus 5 is equal to anything in the first place, as long as it knows that, then it knows something.
But can we know something that's false or not? Can we only know true things?
I think you can know something that's false. Yeah, because like we have theories on like religion even. Like Christians and like Muslims would know like a specific event, like Jesus resurrected. They would think they know that, but it doesn't.
They think they know that. But do they know that?
Okay, they believe they know that. So in their mind, they know that.
Oh, in their minds, they think they know that. It's just completely different to they know that. In my mind, I think I'm a unicorn, but I'm not actually a unicorn. I'm just deluded.
No, but in their minds, they know that. Like for us, it'd be like they think we know that. They know that because we wouldn't believe the same as them. But in their minds, they'd be like, "Yeah, I know that. There's obviously Jesus was resurrected." And if we're going back to the point, as long as AI literally knows anything, as long as you ask it a question and it gives an answer, it for a specific moment or a period of time, it knows the answer.
I think ultimately, I don't think it's able to use the correspondence theory of truth to identify true facts that can then be classed as proper knowledge. I just think it has the ability to, reason through these things and come to a conclusion. I think it's just simply part of AI's hardware issue is it's unable to do that.
Okay. I feel like that's not exactly what the point is. I feel like as long as literally, as I literally just said this, but you ask it something, gives you an answer, then when it gives you the answer, it knows the answer. Is that not correct?
Not necessarily, because if I read it off a sheet of paper and
Sorry,
tell you
not
what
to
the paper
interrupt,
says,
gentlemen, but you've only got a minute left.
right?
Oh, okay.
If I read off a sheet of paper and read out what it says, do I know what the paper says, or have I just regurgitated the fact?
I think you do know it to an extent, to at least say it. And because being able to say it means you have to know what you're saying. Even if you're reading a different language, for example, you know what you're saying. I mean, you kind of don't know what you're saying.
I mean,
in the step,
I know how to pronounce it, but I don't know if it's true or false.
yeah. I feel like knowing how to pronounce it is knowing something, and we're talking about AI knowing anything.
But I don't think that's what the question's getting at. I think when it says know anything, it means know the whole truth of something. Obviously, it knows how to output an answer because that's what it does. But to actually know what the answer means, I think that's a different question.
Yeah, that's a different question. Not
And
the question
that is time. That is time.
Right, so who won? Will tell us.
Well, you all made some very long and roundabout points.
Yeah, that's good.
Very confusing. Kind of got a little off topic at places.
Right. Okay.
I was actually surprised that none of you mentioned the Turing test in this, because I thought that'd be a very good argument, or at least discussion topic for you to talk about, but none of you
For
did.
which side?
I don't know. You could both use it. Should I explain what the Turing test is?
Well, I think that AIs can pass the Turing test, which would mean that they are akin to humans, which I would not want to raise because that would basically just give them knowledge. So I think that's Arnav's fault there.
What is the Turing test?
For those who don't know, the Turing test is a problem that states that if you create a machine that responds in every way as though it does feel emotions or pain, or that it does think, but on the inside feels absolutely nothing, can you really consider it to still be a machine?
I think ultimately I don't think AIs can respond physically to things. Even if you had a robot that's powered by AI, I don't think it would feel pain in the same way.
Okay, but
obviously robots don't have nerves, do they?
No, but I think even if you've programmed nerves, I don't think it would function the same way as a human does.
I mean, ultimately there's no way to know until we invent those robots, which
True.
Elon Musk is getting on, or whatever he's up to.
There you go. Wait, so who won, Will? Tell us.
I think I'd have to say that Fraser won the debate, just because I don't know. It seems like more reasonable to me.
I think actually, in truth, Arnav won that. I think at the start I sort of gave you the fact that they might be able to know mathematical truths.
I mean, yeah, that's that. I might just be being biased because I don't think robots can think. But
there you go. So just like happened in debate in school. Actually, I did win, but by technicality. Well, actually, Arnav did win, but by technicality, that I actually won this debate. So.
Hell yeah.
I feel I do believe I don't believe what I said at all, because I believe they don't have any mind. I was all made up from me.
I'm bothered you did put up a decent round. You weren't bad at all.
It's a lot easier to explain they don't think, because I was only saying true statements, I feel. But for my actual opinion, it's more of a feeling, and then I can't explain it, so it's easier to explain in my opinion.
Well, I was kind of expecting you to defy out some definition of knowledge or thinking, but no, you just went.
I was gonna ask at the start, define knowing, But then like I thought that's gonna probably come to my downfall, so I just didn't.
Yeah, that's tough. If you can define it, then you're gonna win probably because you can sort of argue on your own terms. But there you go. Well, who's going next?
So I think that's about it for today's episode. I haven't really said anything, so in the next one we should all
Just be free.
we should have a different debate topic in the next one, and I think we'll wrap it up here.